Welcome to Time of Death. This video is for informational purposes and in no way meant to glorify or condone violence. In today's video, we'll be discussing the murder of Michael Whitaker. Whitaker was shot and killed on Sunday, April 8, 2007, near the intersection of 7th and Caswell Streets in Pomona, according to LA County coroner records. Osvaldo Ramos and Edwin Cruz were subsequently arrested and charged with the murder. The following is the evidence at trial. Victim Michael Whitaker was killed on April 8, 2007, after suffering 4 gunshot wounds to his head and face. He was found lying partially inside of a car and partially on the street, with his pockets inside out. In April 2007, crime scene investigator Sherry Orellana was called to the victim's crime scene. The victim's body was lying partially in a car and partially on the ground. There were large amounts of blood in the front passenger seat area, on the floorboard, and on the interior front passenger door. There was also blood on the rear seat. Orellana also saw a small envelope containing a white substance that was later identified as cocaine. Orellana found teeth and parts of teeth on the floorboard in the front passenger seat area, along with a fired bullet. A bloody palm print recovered from the outside of the car matched defendant Ramos' handprint. In late May 2007, officers interviewed defendant Ramos about the murder. He initially claimed he didn't know the victim, but later admitted he was involved in the victim's death. Ramos told officers he and 2 other men, defendant Edwin Cruz and Cesar Miranda, ordered drugs from the victim and planned to rob him. When the victim came to their location, defendant Ramos walked to the car while defendant Cruz and Miranda hid in an alley and watched. After Ramos walked up to the victim's car, Cruz came out of the alley and shot the victim in the head. Ramos said Cruz had shown him a gun before the victim arrived. Ramos insisted he never went to the passenger side of the victim's car, where 2 gun cartridge casings were found. At trial, a gang expert opined that defendant Ramos was an active member of Pomona 12th Street. Victor Tejeda testified he, Cruz, and Ramos were members of Pomona 12th Street. Sometime after April 2007, Cruz told Tejeda that he and Ramos robbed and killed the victim. Cruz bragged to Tejeda, "We killed that expletive." Cruz didn't say who shot the victim. Defendant Cruz said the victim tried to jump out of the car after he was shot, but defendant Ramos stopped him and tried to keep the car door closed. Cruz told Tejeda that he and Ramos robbed the victim and emptied out his pockets, then smoked the drugs they found. On cross-examination, Tejeda admitted that the Pomona 12th Street gang had been trying to kill him. Defendant Cruz was involved in an incident in which Tejeda was shot and left for dead by his own gang. Defendant Ramos testified on his own behalf. He denied that he was a gang member. He testified defendant Cruz shot the victim and then threatened him with a gun to find the victim's drugs. Cruz also told him not to say anything about the murder. Cruz's friends beat him up in the county jail because he told police what had happened. Following the trial, the jury found defendant Ramos guilty of 1 count of first-degree murder, including gun and gang enhancements. The jury also found true the special circumstance allegations that the murder was committed during the commission of a robbery. The court sentenced Ramos to a prison term of life without the possibility of parole, plus 25 years for the enhancements. The jury found defendant Cruz guilty of first-degree murder, including gun and gang enhancements. The jury also found true the special circumstance allegation that the murder was committed during the commission of a robbery. The court sentenced Cruz to life without the possibility of parole, plus 25 years for the enhancements. Michael Whitaker was 44 years old at the time of death.